With outdoor venues emerging as one of the top new ways for fans to enjoy hockey, we'll tell you a little bit about the future of the NHL outdoors. Welcome to Bruins Daily TV. Erika Lee here alongside Tim Rosenthal at Studio 73 at Suffolk University. Thanks for joining us here on our first episode of the new year on Bruins Daily TV.
And with the new episode, you have a raspy voice.
It's true.
So I think I'm going to have to carry this today's show on my back. So if you hear of anyone going to Mass General Hospital for a sore back, you know why.
It's Tim. Well, Tim, let's talk a little bit about something the NHL seems to be having quite a bit of success with, and that is outdoor hockey. So despite this polar vortex and the bipolar weather we're experiencing here in New England, we're seeing hundreds of thousands of fans braving freezing cold temperatures for the limited opportunities to see their favorite teams play outside.
And it's such a unique sight to see. Starting in 2008 with the Warren Classic in Buffalo, it was a unique concept. First off, not everyone from the general public knew what to think of it, and then you saw that game ended in a shootout. Not that we like skills competitions, but I think at the same time, and for this instance, it was one where the result was aside, and seeing Sidney Crosby score the game winner, one of the first moments we've had in outdoor hockey during this era, and it's really something special, something unique. They had it was snowing out in Buffalo that day, and then ever since, the NHL, I think, has really capitalized on this opportunity with the Winter Classics. Now, obviously, it's expanded. You have the Stadium Series the other night in LA, which was another unique opportunity to showcase an outdoor game in warm weather, mind you. I was quite skeptical of how that would turn out, but it didn't turn out that badly. They got pretty good ratings for that. And then we obviously have a couple games going on in New York, and then one more out in Chicago for the Stadium Series in March, which will feature two exciting teams as well. And then up in Canada, you have another outdoor game. So the problem is maybe it's oversaturated a bit, but people are still tuning in. So as long as they do, I think outdoor hockey has a bright future.
You mentioned the games over the weekend, which drew more than 100,000 fans between the two of them in LA and in New York. And of course, you mentioned the three games coming up again this week as well. We've got another in New York, one out in Chicago, and another one up in Canada. So the games coming up are exciting opportunities again for the fans to see their favorite teams outside. And even the commissioner is getting in on this. He's really excited about the fan attendance and excitement over these outdoor games.
Well, all venues are going to sell out. In New York, just the other day, announced the Rangers and Islanders are sold out, and that's really going to put a jump start into that rivalry before the Islanders go into Brooklyn next season. And despite their struggles, I think the Islanders have done pretty decently as of late, aside from the Bruins loss. They still have a couple of issues they need to address, like the young defense and the goaltending are definitely still a problem of theirs. But they're an exciting team with John Tavares, Kyle Okposo, Thomas Vanek, who came over from Buffalo in that trade. They have a lot of weapons on that team, and it's a very young team to showcase. They made a surprise appearance in the playoffs last year and pushed the Penguins to the limit. So I'm excited to see what they bring on the national stage tonight, on Wednesday, rather.
Absolutely. Now, the other rumor that we heard surface this morning, we can't get confirmation yet, is that the Bruins are potentially looking at a new venue to host their outside games at.
Well, seeing as it's 15 or 20 minutes away from my house, that would be Patriots Place at Gillette Stadium. I'm sure everyone's quite familiar as the home of the New England Patriots. And that would be very exciting for me personally because I don't have to drive that far. But you're seeing the Bruins being rumored, obviously. There's a couple other teams, St. Louis at Busch Stadium where the Cardinals play. That's another hot rumor going around lately. Phoenix, out of all venues. Was it Chase Ballpark, I think, in Arizona, home of Diamondbacks?
I believe so.
Yep. And you even have San Jose getting in the mix as well. And I think especially after the success in Chavez Ravine, home of the Dodgers, I think you're going to see outdoor hockey expand into hot areas. Probably Tampa's going to be close when you have Steven Stamkos and Marty St. Louis to showcase. I think they'd love to get in on the action. But Obviously, next year you have the Capitals hosting a Winter Classic, probably most likely at Nationals Ballpark. But it's an exciting venture for sure. Presents a unique opportunity, and yeah, there's always the risk of oversaturating your products, as I said earlier. But it's very exciting at the same time to see people still tuning in.
And there is always that fear of oversaturating the market with your product, but I can't really see the Bruins having trouble selling out Gillette Stadium. They obviously had no trouble doing it at Fenway, and Gillette is a bigger venue for them to be able to showcase what they can do.
It's a bigger venue. It's a less cramped venue. You have Patriots Place, home of a lot of shops, bars, restaurants, so they'll be able to generate buzz all right for that. And I really want them to see them play the Montreal Canadiens in that game. I think that would add another element to the rivalry, and maybe Montreal returns to favor with the Heritage Classic down the road. Who knows? Or a Stadium Series.
Anything is possible. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when Tim and I come back, we're going to drop the gloves for the first time in 2014. That's next on Bruins Daily TV. Hey, it's Erika Lee. If you've ever wanted a shot with some of Boston's best bachelors and bachelorettes, now's your chance. Join me Friday, February 7th at the Estate right here in Boston for Project Cupid's 5th annual date auction, where you can bid on a chance for a date with 20 of Boston's best, plus more than $7,000 worth of amazing prizes like Red Sox tickets, autographed memorabilia, and gift cards to amazing bars and restaurants. Did I mention it's all to benefit the Jimmy Fund? And you'll have a shot to bid on a date with me. That's right, tickets are just $20 and can be purchased at the door the night of the event, with proceeds benefiting the Jimmy Fund. So log on to Facebook at the link below and RSVP right now. See you there. Welcome back to Bruins Daily TV. Erika Lee here alongside Tim Rosenthal, and it's time to drop the gloves. I think we need to get gloves for this table.
They would definitely be weighted on my side because you know I always win every week. And since you have that raspy voice again, I think you're at a disadvantage.
That's what you think, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I've proven it week in and week out, so
all right.
You know this is going to be a piece of cake for me.
Well, as usual, you get to answer first. So you always have the advantage of doing that because I ask the question. So I never get the opportunity to win. But maybe today.
That's what you think.
Maybe today.
That's what you think.
First up this week, Chris Kelly is making his return, and obviously we've already seen that Ryan Spooner has been sent back to Providence. But who do you think is the odd man out? And before you can answer, I'm going to go with Jordan Caron.
Well, Caron's going to be put on waivers eventually. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So instead of answering him, I'm going to go, it's going to be between Chris Kelly and Sean Thornton. I think those two are going to alternate back and forth on the fourth line, although Thornton's goal on Tuesday night against Florida was pretty sweet. Probably one of the best goals he's ever scored in his life. So, but unfortunately, I think he'll be the odd man out, and I think after the Olympics, they'll make the call up for Spooner.
We shall see. Our next topic, Riley Smith and Brad Marchand are on absolute tears lately. Smith has obviously been a great addition to the team, coming from the trade with Dallas during the offseason. He already has 18 goals this season, his 18th coming on Tuesday night against Florida as well. Marshy off to a rough start, but he's really picked things up. He's looking a lot better. He's up to 17 goals now. So who will have more goals at the end of the season?
We have 30-some-odd games left, and Riley Smith has been one of the most consistent Bruins on the season, so logically speaking, you'd probably go with Riley Smith. I'm going to go with Brad Marchand, though. I think he's really been hot, and I think being snubbed from the Canadian team, although he had an outside shot making it, really has lifted his game up as of late. And I think coming back from the Olympic break, he's really going to be one of the stars on the Bruins. And that whole line altogether has been red hot.
The line has definitely been extremely productive for the Bruins. As you said, logic would have you pick Riley Smith, and so that's who I'm going to go with, is Riley Smith, only because he has been one of the most productive players on the team, and that line is so hot. But we'll have to just see. Time will tell which one of them ends up with more goals at the end of the year.
You're getting warmer with these responses. What can I say?
I'm working on it.
Good.
Our last question. Out of the 5 black and gold who will make the trek to Sochi in just under 2 weeks, Chara, Bergeron, Tuukka Rask, Krejci, and Eriksson, Which one will have the most success at this year's Olympics?
I'm going to look at it from two standpoints, from an individual success and a team success. The team success, Canada's one of the favorites to win the gold again, although I don't think they have as strong as roster as they did in 2010. So, from that perspective, I'll pick Bergeron, even though he'll be relegated. Well, I shouldn't say relegated, but he'll have third and fourth line duties, especially with all the skill they have on Canada. So from that perspective, go with Bergeron. From an individual perspective, why not David Krejci? He's during the playoffs, he's always red hot, and he always picks up his game. I don't think that's going to be any different on the international stage.
Both those guys have great opportunities to be extremely successful during the Olympics. I'm going to go with Tuukka Rask. Tuukka's ranked 5th right now in the NHL in goaltenders, and I think that he could be really great in Sochi.
The interesting thing about Finland, for sure, with Antti Niemi also making the team, those two are probably going to split time in the preliminary round. It'd be interesting to see, though, since they both have playoff experience and championship experience, for that matter. It'll be interesting to see who they go with during the tournament.
Yes, it will. That's going to do it for us this week from Studio 73 at Suffolk University. That's Tim Rosenthal. I'm Erika Lee. We'll catch you next time on Bruins Daily TV.
We belong together. We stand proud and true. Remember when I said that I'd always be there for you? Back when we was hooligans. Back when we was hooligans.